Wait, we're being controlled by a vampire here.
Is his name Alucard?
No, it's like Neridol or something.
Neridol.
Wow, yeah, he's just kind of a dick.
He totally just says, "Can I talk to your party leader?"
He's like, "Don't mind the mess. Go give me some blood." And we're like, "Yes, master." That's kind of great,
I will do this
actually.
for you, master.
This is weird and fucked up, but alright.
But yeah, on the Hobbit topic, I just want to see... I want to see a concise version of that trilogy that's like 1 3-hour movie.
Yeah.
And you just skip every scene that doesn't have Frodo in it, basically. I mean, Bilbo. It'd be a very short movie if you made a Frodo supercut.
Which would be, what, maybe the very ending?
Yeah.
I don't know, I haven't actually seen the third movie yet. Because I'm lazy, and everybody kept telling me not to.
It's not great. It's not great. It's a very long movie that's almost exclusively war scenes that you have no reason to care about because they're mostly characters that you just met a moment ago, including a weird CG guy for some reason. Like
there was a lot of reason to want to watch the war scenes in Lord
of the Rings because all you cared about all the characters.
Yeah,
and like in Helm's Deep, and they had all the women and children locked away, and like, oh god, what are they gonna do?
Don't remember there being the women and children. Like, they poorly explained that bit. It's mostly just like, the orcs are coming, we're stuck here, fight them.
No, they spent like prolonged scenes of like, here's Aragorn with this little kid, and it's like, he's too young to be wearing this armor, and he's like trying to talk to him about hope and how they're gonna get through this, and they're locking all the women and children into this cavern behind Helm's Deep, and
I kind of zoned out in those movies when Gimli wasn't there. Gimli and Legolas.
But like by contrast, in the Hobbit trilogy, like the finale, like one of the armies is like some dwarf that's related to them shows up and has an army, and his army and him are all CG for some reason, and that's their whole character, and then they show up and fight, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
Makeup for the dwarves in the Hobbit was like actually pretty extensive. Like I saw videos going over crap. This hurts. This hurts a lot. I'm leaving now.
Find up some skeletons.
There we go. Problem solved.
Yeah. I like that when we do this, it just turns into a podcast every time we play a game.
I mean, it happens.
I like it.
Play something stressful, then maybe like.
I mean, we never do this during Dark Souls.
It's true. We just give up and play that without Spider.
To be fair, I've never heard anything about him actually being a limiter on the series. It's just that we don't talk about it at all for a long stretches of time.
He's only available during very specific hours.
I have to scrap stuff just to pick things up at this point. There we go. Oh, there's an item over here too. You see that there's an icon that pops up when an item shows up behind stuff?
Yeah.
It's a nice detail.
Man. There is a...
Get up. There we go.
There's a crest that actually gives you more EXP per kill.
Oh. Well, I think I've found that a few times, actually. Are you fucking doing this again?
No, I'm not. I'm actually going with extra money per kill.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, like, just get good stats. I'm not doing any experience or money per kill, I'm just going pure, this makes me better at being a character.
Yep.
That's my go-to.
Yeah. I went with the extra money just because I know at some point I'm going to get a recipe for a monster that I actually want. And it's going to be fucking expensive, and I'm going to be angry about it. Oh, let's go back to town. Let's see if we can sell stuff from inside that cathedral. We might be able to do from here.
You ever get a feeling that aging, part of growing up is just watching all of your heroes either fail or die?
I feel like you're referencing something.
Just across the board, like, every director you liked just starts to suck over time, or all the people you thought were cool as a kid are literally dying. Like, I actually have trouble, I'm so used to them dying now that I forget whether or not some of them are alive. Like, I'm thinking right now, I can't tell you if Jackie Chan's alive or not.
He's alive.
He's alive
still as racist as ever.
Because Jackie Chan was 50 when I was in middle school. Which was a crazy thought. Yeah.
I didn't realize he was 50. Jesus.
He's freaking old. Like, he gets the pass for being racist at some point because he's just an old Chinese man.
He is not above, he is not above plastic surgery and whatnot.
Yeah. It's a little surprising.
But, like,
but only because you idolize him as a child, basically.
It's yeah. I was
Like,
reading about him recently, and apparently, like, Chinese people really don't like him. Like, he's not a very good role model.
I just think of
Which
like
is kind of an
Steve
interesting
Irwin
situation.
dying, like when I'm a freshman in high school.
True. I guess I was never particularly emotionally attached to Steve Irwin.
Or like
For
from
any
entertainment perspectives,
reason.
it's just like you like as a like around the teenage years for us, we're being ambushed. You have like the Wachowski brothers and Peter Jackson being these like amazing people that make the best movies that like shape how you consume fiction at that age.
Were the Wachowski brothers really that good, or is it just The Matrix?
Well, that's the thing is you have the Matrix and Lord of the Rings trilogies being mind blowing at that age level, and then
I didn't
they go
find the original Matrix movie particularly mind blowing.
But then those people go on to make.
I know why I didn't find the Matrix movies particularly mind blowing. Trilogy was already out by the time I saw the Matrix movies.
Oh god!
So I had already seen all of the Matrix animations on Newgrounds.
You didn't properly absorb the first movie as its own thing, did you?
No,
part of a greater whole of nightmare.
I specifically watched the first movie. I actually saw the first movie, and it took a couple of years before I saw the other ones. But I saw the first movie after the There Is No Spoon animation compilation and stuff like that on Newgrounds, which kind of ruins you as far as like being particularly invested in the Matrix.
Yeah, those are both cases of people that made like some of the biggest deal movies basically for this audience basically, and then go on to make basically nothing else that ever captures any of that or even is particularly great forever.
Yeah, didn't they make didn't the Wachowski brothers make Jupiter Ascending?
Yeah, the one where Channing Tatum's a dog person.
I haven't seen it yet. Shell watched it. She was super excited to watch it because, maybe it's good.
They also made Cloud Atlas, which is like a beautiful movie with interesting stories in it, but is ultimately like a bunch of random stories edited together for no reason that don't really have anything to do with each other besides like some thematic consistency.
Hey, Ghosts. I think I also heard that it's actually better to just read the comic book, because I think there's a Cloud Atlas comic book that it's based off of. I could be wrong on that one, but
is it based off it, or is it like a novelization type thing where it's based on the movie?
I think the movie is based on the comics.
Ah,
I could be wrong. I could be very wrong on that one.
Makes sense because everything's always based on something nowadays.
Yeah, well, it's a lot easier.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of, did you see anything in relation to the Fantastic Four movie?
I've heard it's a nightmare.
Yeah. So the unreleased version from the 90s, the like really bad indie one, got like substantially better reviews than the modern version.
People are consistently saying that that's a series that started at not a great place and has like exclusively gotten worse every time they've made a movie.
Part of the problem is the comics haven't even been relevant, unfortunately. Like the comics have been outdated since pretty much the like 80s, even the 90s.
You
like,
kind of lose me from the get-go with
it.
Fantastic Four based on its premise. Like I already don't like the ideas for the characters, just from the get-go. But it sounds like, well, the movie I saw was bad, and everyone that I haven't seen is apparently also bad. But the only one I've seen is the first of the new ones, with Captain America as a Human Torch.
Oh yeah, I actually forget that was.
It's weird, right?
Yeah.
That's some very abrupt reusage of an actor. But I'm pretty much done with Marvel movies that aren't X-Men or actually currently being made by Marvel.
I mean, any of the independent Wolverine movies are travesties.
Yeah. Like, I'm invested enough into X-Men to watch at least some of it. But
yeah.
Like I'll watch all of it, and at least some of it will be good. I mean, but everything else that's Marvel that is not being made by Marvel is really bad because it is all just being made to fulfill like a requirement to not give over the rights to the movies back to Marvel, because like they just have to use it every few years basically, and that's really gross. And Spider-Man's just gonna keep sucking, and
Yeah.
Fantastic Four is just going to keep sucking because it's not. No one has ideas for what to do with those movies. They just want it. They just want to keep making stuff out of it because otherwise they'll lose it.
Hey, cool.
I just got a sword that
That is
where
very
if I put it on.
It's other stuff.
Oh wow!
Am I gonna watch the Deadpool movie? I personally am probably. Whether or not it turns out to be good.
I have 150 hit points, and I have a relic that'll give me 150 hit points.
Wow.
But I don't want to give up my SP. It's a weak.
That is actually.
It does 40 less damage is the problem.
Damage reduction SP. I have a lot of contracts. I could probably unlock a pet, such as the Cursed Skeleton, the Skeleton Warrior, Goblin Shaman, the Wall. Oh wait, no, the Wall's armor. Oh, okay.
I mean, they all unlock pets, right?
Yeah. I just don't want any of them because I only really want like, you know, creature monsters as opposed to like the undead. I'm a shallow person, and it's also very expensive.
I'm a shallow person.
But like, to get a Cursed Skeleton, it's like 25,000. It's like, I don't really want a Skeleton. I don't really want a dog either.
Ooh, I found a socketed helm. It is a green socket.
Theory. Is Deadpool a grown-up version of Spider-Man? Hell no.
No.
way.
Deadpool's
Not
immature
even
as fuck.
Close. Yeah.
Also has none of Spider-Man's powers. Or
Yep.
plot, or theming. He's
They
just
team
red.
up surprisingly frequently, though.
They're
This
just
is true.
two mouthless red masks. That's their only comparison. They have nothing to do with each other. One has healing factor,
I've
one has
read-
spider sense, one has
I've
web
read
shooters.
almost every single Deadpool comic.
I don't think I've ever read a Deadpool comic.
They're good. Some are a lot better than others.
I don't
The
think I've
original
really
ones
read.
were hard to get through.
I don't think I've really read comic books for superheroes, really, aside from a handful of X-Men comics, and I think I read the Bullseye origin story.
Every once in a while, I will like hunker down, buy the monthly subscription to the Marvel Archives, and then read like thousands of comics.
My dog's now level 13.
My dog is... I don't know what level my dog is. 3. They won't level up unless you throw shit at them. I didn't realize
Apparently,
this.
wow.
That is surprising. Well,
Wow,
once I
so they don't
find
get any
once I find a
experience?
companion I actually desire, I will have so much.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy with Wolf.
Get an archer.
It's pretty
I
sweet,
want
and
a humanoid
named him
pet. I don't care.
Saboosterd.
I do not care. But it's not going to be a humanoid pet. Skeleton, Skelebone, or
Oh,
otherwise,
I
you're
died.
dead. Yeah, you got fucked up. Oh shit, because there's a ghost.
Yeah, I did not even register that there was an attacker. Whoops.
Yeah, surprise!
It happened.
Are you gonna...
It was
Is that
just
like a
taunting me.
backer, or did you just quickly type that in?
Yeah, I just typed that in.
Okay, because I didn't hear you typing, and I was just like, I don't think they would have put that into the game.
Excuse me, I know how to noise gate. I'm not bird catcher.
I mean, for me, but I also can't noise gate my
Oh, God.
keyboard because that thing is... Wait, are the ghouls on fire because of you, me, or the sun?
Well, that's a number of good questions. Like, remember, I use the snowball on its like super quiet setting, and it's super
Right.
directional, so it doesn't really pick up stuff in the room usually.
At some point, you should give Cheryl tips on how to use her snowball. 'Cause
Put it on setting 2. Get a pop filter
Yours is
and put it
also-
right up in your face. The end.
that's probably a good point. Yeah, originally
That's what
why
TLE
I
was doing
actually-
wrong when I talked to him about it.
Yeah.
Is he had it like 5 feet away from him, just sitting on his desk in the corner.
Yeah, so that's why I ended up going with the Yeti, because I don't have to keep it up close to my face to get the full effect out of it, which I actually really, really like. Like, actually, if it's up in my face, it gets a little bit too bassy, and it's hard to listen to. Is there just a fisherman dude here? There is.
Interestingly, a problem that TLE had is that he had it on a really hilariously like scary looking like boom arm that had a crazy ring around it, so he couldn't put it up like near his face and look over it because his crazy contraption would block his line of sight. These are tiny doors. These doors are
Now
smaller
have to
than we
walk
are.
back, apparently. Okay. Why does everyone have a dog? Because you start with the dog. What the? That was weird.
Because the dog's the easiest thing to get. And
Well, you start
direwolf's
with the dog in the game.
Do you?
I don't have a direwolf. I would have gone with
I thought you had to
direwolf
buy
if
the
I had the
dog.
ability. No. What the fuck?
Do you not
Every
know where?
time we screen transition, it puts me back in the beach.
What?
Yeah, exactly. It's just like,
You just mean like the screen we're
you're-
transitioning from keeps looking wrong?
but it pans the beach down and then flashes back to whatever we're doing, like
Ah.
wherever we're supposed to be. So it's just very confusing. So yeah, right now it's panning to beach and forest.
I wish they didn't insist on doing the Legend of Zelda screen scroll, because in Legend of Zelda the rooms like match each other.
Yeah.
And in this game they don't, so it looks really janky. Like they might as well just do a hard cut instead, or
Yeah.
like a crossfade. Because having it swipe like that, it looks kind of silly. Yes, mortal. What is a man? Miserable little pile of secrets. Yes,
Well,
master.
at least this area is fast.
That's really creepy. I mean, it's not that creepy, it's just disconcerting. Who's the little slave wanderer? Yes, you are.
We must hurry for Yuri.
We must hurry for Yuri.
Have you never played that game?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's Red Alert 2. Have you ever
Oh, I
seen
had
or
that.
heard of
That
the
was
Red Alert games?
Red Alert 2 is the first game I got for my own, like the first time I bought a PC. I got a shitty E-machine from Best Buy, and they're like, get these, they were like, pick 3 games.
Ah. Okay,
I got like Red Alert 2 and Tropico 2 or something.
Red Alert 2 is like a major part of my childhood. Yeah, they really do not match. But there's an expansion pack for Red Alert 2 where you play specifically as the Russians' advisor guy, you know, effectively the vizier, whose name was Yuri. I think we're gonna get attacked while we're here. I wasn't paying attention.
Basically, all I know
thought
about
so.
that game was that it was a Command & Conquer RTS, and it had hilarious live-action segments throughout it for the story.
The entirety of the Red Alert series is pretty much comedy gold. Red Alert 3 was pretty garbage. But
That's what's great about the Need for Speed Most Wanted game, is that they did the same thing.
Okay.
It's a whole racing game that has live-action, terrible acting.
Yeah. But so for the sequel, you're playing as Yuri and you're mind controlling people. So any character that you've mind controlled will always just say, "We must hurry for Yuri," or like stuff like that. But in this like weird, just like monotone like zombie voice.
They had to be on a joke at that point.
It would. Oh yeah, no. Red Alert 1 was fairly reasonable, like alternate history. Like they went back in time and killed Hitler, which made Stalin go nuts.
But it had
and,
full
like,
camp
try
due
and
to
take over the
low
world
budget,
instead.
right?
It wasn't terribly campy, honestly. It was like it was taking itself seriously comparatively. And by the second one, they like had like midway through the game, Yuri mind controls the entirety of the U.S. except for the main character for some reason, and so you have this like super like patriotic Canadian dude stirring his coffee with a Russian flag and being like, "Yep, we're Russian now. This is all good."
Sounds like
And
some
it was
Wolfenstein stuff of alternate history.
It was very Wolfenstein. I loved it. You coming?
Wasn't Yuri the guy that had the like Cerebro head?
Yeah.
Like the whole
just, like,
like
big
tentacle-y
bald head.
covered like metal head mask and everything.
Yeah, he had. I don't think he had like a iron mask, but like he had a thing that he put on top of his head to mind control people better.
Yeah, I thought it looked something like Cerebro, like the Cerebro head from like X-Men. Like what they wear to operate the computer. Professor X.
Oh, we've got ghosts this time around.
Interesting
Grand-baked
having
enemies.
It was interesting having Professor X recontextualized as like a drug addict in the new movie.
Yeah, I was less interested in that segment of things. Hey, we're gonna get our bounty at long last. There we go.
I was on board because I've liked that actor ever since Wanted.
Yeah, honestly, I really enjoyed those movies. I do feel like they could have fleshed out Days of Future Past a little bit better.
Did you see that?
Yep. Yeah, I saw that.
I
Or
cast teleport
that
without
not.
teleporting.
Let's see, Crane.
Thanks for taking my mana for nothing.
I mean, is it really a big deal? Is it
Yes.
really?
I'm
Okay.
offended.